Hey everyone, today we're reviewing a 2019 Honda Civic EXL. This car is a used model with 6,000 miles as tested, which for that mileage and spec, you can find some listed for sale at just under $20,000. It comes equipped with all the great features such as heated leather seats, a sunroof, and an easy-to-use infotainment system. We also get all of Honda's great safety tech, including lane keep assist, braking assist, and adaptive cruise control. To top it all off, this car has a beautiful exterior design that is complemented very well by the daytime running lights, which are honestly my favorite. For the vast amount of options that are included into these EXL Civics, they seem to be a great bargain in the used car market. Now, let's see how it drives. Hey everyone, today we are reviewing a 2019 Honda Civic EXL. It is actually my brother's car, so I just want to thank him right now for letting me take it out today and show you guys what it's all about. So Honda's been making these Civics for a very long time, and you wonder what's different about this one, this 2019 Honda Civic, than, you know, say a 2015, a 2014 if you were looking to buy one of those. And what's unique about this one is the styling. So the model we're testing here today is an EXL, like I said before. It has heated leather seats, a nice sunroof, and even the 1.5 turboed 4-cylinder that makes 174 horsepower. So it kind of adds a little bit of a sporty feel to this, you know, economy sedan. So this is my first time behind the wheel of a Honda Civic in some time. I believe the last model year I drove was a 2011 or 2010. And I have to say that they've really upgraded on their luxury feel inside of the interior. The leather seats are comfortable. There's really no side bolstering, so you can still move around a lot in the seat. But this car is not meant to be a sporty sedan, although it has the 1.5 liter turbo, which adds a lot of appeal to the vehicle, as the SI and the Type R have that sort of function. These Honda Civics, although they feel a lot bigger than the past ones, I believe they're really close to actually the Honda Accord size at this point, but they still get great fuel economy, averaging about 32 to 42, whether it's city or highway. Although this Civic has increased in size, it does feel quite lighter than the Accord. Not because it generally is a lot lighter, because it's not too much lighter. I believe the exact number is this amount of pounds. So what came new in 2019 for these Honda Civics is the black grille, which you saw in the shots before. Before they were making all of these grills chrome, and it didn't appeal to the young buyers that were looking to get into these cars, and switching to the black trim rather than the chrome for the front grille was a smart move by Honda. There's a lot of piano black in this interior, which makes it get dirty really fast, and the amount of dirt that piano black shows is just crazy, because you can clean it and it just still looks dirty after you buy it brand new. I'd say for the first 2 weeks it's like a honeymoon period with the piano black, where you just love it because it looks so great when it's clean, but as soon as it gets dirty, man, you just want something else. This car comes with a lot of safety features such as lane keep assist, braking assist, all that great, you know, departure warning and everything like that. You guys know how I feel about lane keep assist, where I just feel like it pulls you back into your lane and kind of overcompensates for your driving where it doesn't really need to. And they also can get confused. Some of the systems, like the Nissan Sentras, got quite confused when I was driving it. Say there was certain grooves in the road, it would just think I was moving out of my lane and it would beep at me and stuff like that, and I just don't like it. So personally, I would turn the feature off. The ride quality in these new Honda Civics are great, especially a vast improvement from the past couple years where when they switched to this new generation, the car got bigger, everything's more sound, everything's more secluded in the interior, and honestly, I really enjoy driving this. I would say it's a step up from that Nissan Sentra that we reviewed for our first car on this channel, as far as interior quality and comfort. I do have to note that this is an upgraded trim for a Honda Civic, whereas I drove a Nissan Sentra base model. But either way, as far as if you're driving the base model or an upgraded trim, you don't necessarily get more sound and more secluded in the interior for just upgrading, you know, the leather or the stitching throughout the interior and stuff like that. So I'd say that this overall has a better ride quality than the Nissan Sentra. If someone were to buy one of these Honda Civics, I would honestly tell them to get the upgraded trim. Base models of a lot of modern cars are just not great to be in because there's a lot of great features that you get in even just an EXL for this car that make it so great, make it so comfortable. The leather seats are amazing. The trim is very nice. We got a powered mirror, heated seats, a sunroof, more speakers. We got Apple CarPlay in here. It's just a really great place to be when you have some more of these features, some of these options, and they honestly don't cost a ton to upgrade those sort of things and get into a higher trim rather than just the base model. And I would really recommend that if anyone were to get one of these Honda Civics, that they get an EXL or they get a Touring, because they're just so much better than driving a base model. Honda Civics have a reputation of being super reliable, a cheap, affordable car, but now they can add comfort to the resume, because honestly, this car is very sound. It's super comfortable to be in, the ride quality is great, and the only criticism I would have as far as ride quality goes is that there's just a bit of tire noise that lingers even at, you know, 40 miles an hour. Really, the lack of sound deadening comes from like here up, where it comes from the windows, the sunroof. You just get a lot of noise from the upwards of the car, but there's really nothing at my legs. Like, I'm not getting a ton of vibration. I'm not going over a lot of bumps and just being harassed in this car. It's very sound, it's very comfortable, and I have quite a bit of legroom as the driver too, which is great. One of the criticisms I gave to the Nissan Sentra was the lack of legroom, and that I couldn't really spread my legs out. Not that I sit with my legs vastly open, but I felt a little squished in that car. With this, I'm super comfortable, and I could see myself driving this thing for multiple hours at a time, and I would have no issues at all. Honda making this car bigger and more sound inside really makes me question if they even really need a Honda Accord in the lineup, just because I feel like they're so similar. Maybe because a lot of people are loyal to the Accord, and then there's a lot of people who are loyal to the Civic, but honestly, after driving both within a short time frame of each other, they feel a lot alike. There's only a couple things that I would say that are different about this car, is that Honda Accord Sport definitely felt faster than this Civic. I believe it had a little more power to it, but this Civic seems more shifty, more elusive, better in corners than that Accord. The brakes in this car are super responsive. One criticism I have for them is you can just lightly tap it and it just kind of jerks you back. Like, I just feel it's too sensitive. Maybe just dull it up a little bit. Obviously not take away braking power, but just make it slightly less responsive, so when I even just put a tiny bit of weight on it, it doesn't jerk me back in my seat. On throttle, this Civic doesn't sound great. I kind of wish it had a little bit more feedback from the exhaust like that Honda Accord did, and just to give it a little bit more sportiness, but I think that's where the SI comes in and the Type R come in. I still do love that the Civics, when you turn, or all Hondas, when you put on the right directional, that this camera pops up. It's just kind of a nice feature, and it's not super invasive into your navigation and your infotainment system. It's just nice to have. I still feel like it kind of trains people not to, turn their heads when they're driving, which is scary, but I mean, the cars just seem to do everything for you nowadays. My take on this Civic, though, is that it's adulting. It's grown up so much over the past couple years that it's just like, I can't believe that I'm driving a Civic and not an Accord. It feels so much like the Accord. I don't understand. Like, they almost have the same car, just a little different styling, and one's a little bit bigger. It's crazy, the similarities. And I mean, Nissan's kind of doing it the same thing with the Sentra and the Altima. Toyota is kind of the same thing with the Camry and the Avalon more, which is the mid-size and the larger sedan. Whereas with the Civic and the Accord, it's, the economy and the mid-size. So it's kind of crazy that car manufacturers are just making the gap between their trims a lot shorter than in years past. I just think that with maybe an exhaust upgrade to this car, I mean, don't delete the cats or the muffler or anything like that, but if this car just sounded a little bit better, if I got a little bit more feedback from the exhaust, it would just be so much more fun to drive. A nice addition to these Civics would be the paddle shifters that we got in the Accord. That would also make it a lot more fun. I do also love the styling of these powered mirrors, as the new power mirrors, they don't even indicate that they're a powered mirror. I mean, this one just kind of has these tiny little buttons on the bottom of it, whereas the older ones are super clunky and kind of take up a lot of your frontal view. And I think that's really great that they've modernized these power mirrors. So this Civic makes 174 horsepower, and it's powered by a CVT transmission. And I just feel like that the 4-cylinder turbo is complemented very well by the CVT. So what these Civics really excel in now are comfort. The visibility is great in all facets of the car, including, we have the little camera, we have the backup camera, and the speakers are really nice. There's an addition with the EXL that gets you more speakers, and you have Apple CarPlay and all the nice features. It would make it a great daily commuter to have a car that's reliable, affordable, really good on gas, and comfortable. And that's what this car is. It's comfort, quality, reliability, and makes great fuel economy. In any means, this is not a sports car. The Honda Accord that I reviewed in an earlier video talks a lot about that being, a little bit of a sporty feel to it, but this car does not have that, which is totally fine, because if you want a sportier feel, if you want something that gives you a little bit of fun on top of your quality and comfort, go for the SI, go for the Type R. Those are great cars. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Thank you to my brother for loaning me his 2019 Honda Civic EXL. A lot of words with these upgraded trims, but you gotta say them because they get you a lot more features. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time.